Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the F1 Word 50k special. And it kind of fell completely by accident on Halloween. So I thought, why not make it Halloweeny? You know, there you go. So, cheese alert, this is going to get pretty terrible, I'd imagine. But how are we all in chat? I hope we're all pretty good today. I will say, actually, by the way, if you've never come on to one of the special streams, this is totally random. There's nothing scripted, and we're just going to generally chill out and have a bit of a laugh and say thank you, give something back to you guys for all that you have done, subscribing to the channel, liking, watching, everything, absolutely everything. Literally giving stuff back tonight. We've got an awesome giveaway a little bit later, courtesy of Hayley Mulch. Love that girl, she's awesome. And I've also got three £10 Steam vouchers to give away as well throughout the stream. So if you want to enter, you can do so now by putting in chat hashtag 50k or one word. It's not even a word, is it? But hashtag 50k, pop it in the chat now. You'll go into Nightbot and we'll roll it throughout the stream a couple of times. And give away some awesome prizes to you all. So you probably need to follow me on Twitter and or Discord or Facebook somewhere so that you can DM me once you've won. So yes, or if you win. Not everyone's going to win, but we will try our best to get as much done today. We're going to be going with some absolutely awful. Thank you very much to John T and Dan for submitting some terrible liveries to have a look at. We're also going to be doing Trick or Treat, where we're going to be picking on a few drivers from F1 history. Picking on sounds really harsh, but it's pretty much what it's going to be. Trying to think what else we've got. We've got loads. We've got some ugly cars to look at as well, which was suggested over on Twitter. I'm going to be taking lots of your questions from chat over on YouTube and on social media as well. And on top of that, a little bit later in the stream, I'll be taking you on a tour of the F1 Word, I'm going to say studio. It makes me sound posher than I actually am. But yeah, it's not really. It's just a spare room. But we're going to kick it off and just say very good evening. John T, you ready for some randomness, mate?
Yes, this should be fun. How are we, everyone?
I'm good. I'm nice and relaxed. I wasn't 10 minutes ago when I nearly forgot to put some stuff in the stream that I needed to. But yeah, I'm nice and chilled out. Looking forward to it. And hello, Dan. Are you ready for this one, mate?
I am so excited for this. Even the spooky music waited, and then that intro as well. Very nice, mate. I'm really looking forward.
I'd be lying if I said that took me more than 7 seconds. Yeah, it was all right. So lots of people entering the competition. Oh, yes. Oh, God. Yeah, so disappointed people tonight. We'll do our best with that one. But let's kick things off. It is kind of a bit weird because normally I don't do this, but I do want to kick things off with some F1 news, sort of F1 related news. And given that he is down there on the stream or dressed up in his mask, for God's sake, Marcus Ericsson's off to IndyCar, John T. I'm absolutely chuffed for him.
Yeah, he deserves a seat somewhere. Perhaps he's not quite cut out for F1 anymore, but he certainly should be somewhere. I think he'll do very well in Indy. We've seen how former F1 drivers who weren't at the top have done very well there. I mean, Sato won the 500.
Yeah, that's true. I think, you know, he's not an awful driver, Dan. I don't care what people say. He's not the worst thing that's ever graced Formula One by a long way. But it kind of, you know, we were disappointed when he lost his seat. But let's be honest, he's had his time. He had his chance. It's time to let somebody else go. Now he gets to go race in Indy. So it's kind of, it's not F1 for him, but it is win-win in a way, isn't it? Because he's gone off and he's still racing.
Yeah, and you look at the talent that are now coming into F1, all the prospects from F2 and lower down. I mean, you can't really argue with it too much, but I think if you definitely look at all the other options for him, I think IndyCar, with the seat he's got, I think that's probably his best option. Maybe Formula E, always got to mention Formula E, that could have been an option, but I'm chuffed for him for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we'll see, won't we? And he's still got a foot in the door as well in Formula One with that ambassador's role, but really happy for him. Really, really genuinely pleased he's got a seat. There was something else I wanted to talk about and I've completely forgotten. But how close is IndyCar, John T? I know it's a lot closer than Formula One, but could he be possibly winning up there? I don't really watch it much. I don't know if you do, but
you could definitely take a couple of wins and you could well be in with the title fights. It is very close. All the points are done very differently. There's a lot of points awarded for, you know, laps led and overtake made, all sorts of random stuff. I'm not totally up to speed on it myself, but he's got a chance to do well.
Yeah, I hope he does. I really, really hope he does. Should we jump into some hideous liveries? Should we do this? I'm gonna. I think Dan's ready. Dan's ready for this one.
Very ready.
We're going to start with, I think, let's have a look, where have we loaded them in? I've loaded them in Jonty first. So we've got 6 from Jonty and then some from Dan as well. Jonty's given us some ugly cars to look at, which we'll do afterwards. But kicking us off, Jonty, is that bloody hideous BAR from 1999. Were they just, I still say that was a finger to the FIA when they were like, no, you can't have 2 different liveries. You've got to have the one. So they were like, well, screw it. Let's just strap them together.
Oh, yeah, it definitely was. Well, it is a little bit gutting for them because I forgot to send you a picture of it. But the one they did, the Lucky Strike livery wasn't great, but the 555 livery by itself was awesome. It looked ace, which is a shame. But the big finger to the FIA was the zip up the middle. That's what really did.
Yeah, I think I loved the 555 livery when because they kind of revealed them with it was Zonta and Villeneuve, wasn't it, on a stage, a big circle stage, I seem to remember, and there's one on one side, one on the other. The 555 looked great, but yeah, the Lucky Strike one is kind of actually, having said that, the Lucky Strike one kind of became their livery, didn't it? Sort of obviously adapted from that for 2000 onwards, didn't it, for a while?
Yeah, and it stuck around for the early years of Honda as well.
What do you reckon to that one, Dan? I bet you like it. You're just weird.
Cheers. Thanks for that. It's not very aesthetically pleasing, to put it nicely. I mean, like you say, I don't even think it would have looked that bad, but it's the zip.
It's the zip, isn't it?
It's just the zip. Like I said, I don't even dislike the fact that half's one colour, half's the other, and they're 2 different liveries. It's just the zip. It is pretty diabolical. I'll give you that, Johnny. That's a good shout.
It's horrible. Well, you've both agreed on another one a little bit later on, which is even worse. I think the worst livery we've ever seen, but we'll come on to that one in a moment. We're all going to move on now to the 1998 Williams. Now, when they launched this, I hated it with a passion. I quite like their 99 one. It seemed a little bit more... I don't know, I just quite like the 99 livery on the Williams, but after the Rothmans one for so many years, looked really, really cool, and then you come to that, and it was, oh, Dan, it's horrible.
It's just not Williams, is it? It's not even red. What even is that? Is that some sort of brown, red, orange concoction mankiness? I actually have never seen that car before, and if I'm being totally honest, I don't want to see it.
You heard it here first. Concoction mankiness, apparently, Jonty. That's the best way to describe it, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be fair. There is a bit of it that the fact that it's Williams and it's not blue. Everyone expects Williams to be blue in some description. But Dan's right, it's not a very nice red, and it's the fact that it's got the stripes into orange, so it just looks a bit smudged. A bit, yeah. It reminds me of my nan's curtains in the 80s. although there is something I've never noticed before, which it gets 1 point for, and that's the Woody Woodpecker on the side of the nose.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. Addy says in chat, here you go, Dan, rusty water. I think, yeah, rusty water is kind of what it looks like. Oh, it's just horrible. I just did not like it.
Perfect description.
It's just not good at all. A Benetton, I'm not even going to pretend to tell you what year that was, but I mean, why? The back of that car is so horrible.
Yeah, I think that's around about 87, 88, maybe. And just what is it a Dulux colour chart?
It's just horrible. I mean, I liked the Benetton liveries of 97 were all right. 98, I like the blue, the 98, 99. That's just, I mean, yeah, it's there.
Did they use this all season for like a whole season? My God.
Just quickly, Ellie, no, the 7-Up livery will not be in the horrible liveries list. It's the greatest livery of all time.
I nearly put it in. I'll be honest, I nearly put it in just to troll you. But no, that is, no, I do not like that one at all. I'm spinning through. We've got loads to go through on this because I quite like this. I mean, you guys will see this in 6 seconds. What the hell is that? Is it a lion?
Yeah, that's a lion. That's the Shadow livery in 78, maybe 79.
Do you think these guys that do liveries, do they drink?
You'd think so, wouldn't you?
It's horrible.
It doesn't make any sense. That'll do. Let's just stick a lion on the front of it. Oh, by the way, this is going to be the shape of the car. Oh my God. ST reckons it's a monkey.
It is definitely a lion. It's the Samsung Tobacco logo, but
yeah. Let's move on, because I just don't know what to say to that. And then we've got one with, I think, it's not a special Monaco livery, Sean, because that's not Monaco, but the lady on the front of that car. I mean, we've seen her around Monaco modern days on like drivers' helmets and things, haven't we? Could have worded that better. You know, we've seen that in designs before, haven't we? But yeah, I'm not a fan of that either, John T.
Yeah. I mean, could you imagine the uproar if someone was to try that now? That's Penthouse sponsorship livery for Heska. Of course it was for.
Sorry, I'm still laughing. It's all you, Dan.
I don't know. I really didn't think. I'd like to think that there's some professional people out there that can make some half decent liveries. And I actually thought, there can't be that many awful liveries. But no, you're doing well here. This is really upsetting me that some people have been paid to do this to these cars.
Compose yourself, Sean. It's all fine. We'll roll on to the next one. I'm totally with you on this, John T. The Brabham, the horrible pink and blue. I saw this in person, if you like, at Donington Museum, and I can promise you, it looks no better. It looks absolutely horrific. I mean, I get, bright and colourful, and sponsors will like that, and maybe you'll see the car from a distance, but I don't even think the car was that quick to be seen by many. But horrible. Absolutely horrible.
Yeah, but I think another big problem with this, the fact that they picked the worst possible shade of pink, is look at the end fences on the front wing. They're enormous. It makes the front end of the car look like it's not there.
It's like a snowplow.
Yeah.
But see the Force India pink that we've got at the minute, Dan, I really like that. It's particularly the strawberry milkshake pink that we've got this year, but that is just... Wow. I mean, you race in Singapore, that livery would not be allowed. It would be too blinding for drivers.
I actually think I'm going to go against you two on this one. I
knew you would.
Yeah, I got to be controversial at some point. I actually don't think this actually looks that bad. It's not great. I prefer the Force India pink, but I don't think it's that bad. I think there's definitely worse ones we've seen, but if I was to give it out of 10, probably a 5, middle of the road. So I think you should be a bit kinder on that one.
That's weird. That's exactly how I describe Grosjean.
All right, see you later, everyone. Thanks for having me.
Who had 13 minutes?
You're a Grosjean fan. You're always controversial.
Leave me alone.
Took us 13 minutes, mate, to get a Grosjean joke in. I do apologise.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't mean it at all. Yeah, don't forget to put your hashtag 50Ks in the chat, by the way, guys, if you want to be eligible for the giveaway. I'll roll one in a couple of minutes. Just go through another one. I'm going to go to one of Dan's, I think, actually. And I've left this in because I don't know if you wanted me to leave this in as well, if this was one of your dislike ones, but I completely disagree with you on this, Manor. I love the retro feel to that.
Right, yeah. So I submitted this one, and I did get it a bit confused with the other Manor livery I put in, but no, I still don't like this one. I really hate liveries that use blue and red. I really just don't think it matches well. I mean, if your sponsor's Pepsi, then maybe you can get away with it. But no, this just, to me, this is an ugly monstrosity. I just don't like it. It just doesn't work. And no sponsors I always dislike. I know that's not really the livery's design, but plain simple. But no, doesn't tick any of my boxes. And also, I just want to say, the ones I tried to choose were more ones that were in my lifetime of watching F1, so 2006 onwards. So that's not a dig. Yeah, that's not a dig. Well, it might as well be now you've had a go at Grosjean. But no, just doesn't do anything for me, this one. Really doesn't.
See, I like that. And do you know what I liked about that, John T? The retro style overalls that went with it.
Yeah, absolutely. The overalls that went with this were brilliant. They were a great hark back to the 70s. And I do actually quite like that. I can understand what you're saying, blue, white, and red, if you're sponsored by Pepsi or something. We also, I think, Exxon, Valvoline. There's a lot of companies that use blue, white, and red. Although someone, Joshua in the chat, saying it is a bit more orange.
It is, isn't it? It's kind of like my red Astra looks a bit like that now because it's old. The rain's got to it, faded it a bit too much. A couple of people asking in chat, is it one entry per? It is one entry per person. Nightbot won't let you do two. It'll tell you off spamming. So try not to go too crazy with that one. Dan, Force India. I agree with you on this one. I quite like the one with the silver with more black on it that we had a couple of years ago. But I do not like that. That just looks like... I don't know. I kind of want to say we want to show that we've got some kind of Mercedes tie-in with the engine, but we also want to kind of keep the orange and green, and so we're just going to go blah and throw it all together.
Yeah, and I agree with you. The 2015 Force India, where it's a bit more black, worked quite well. And you know what? If I'm being honest, I don't think I'd really hate this one, except for that awful shark fin that just completely ruins the whole thing. And I'm so glad that we only had to see this in testing and not for a full season of F1. And I didn't know if that was cheating, just picking a testing livery, but this was supposed to be their full season livery. And I'm very glad BWT came in and told them off for using this livery and gave them a pink one, because this is just... Oh, I'm running out of things to say, but it's just not ideal. I would not like to see this racing. I really wouldn't.
I mean, I know obviously it's carbon fibre, but it does look, doesn't it, Jonty, like someone's taken a sheet of aluminium and just stuck it on the back of the car.
Yeah, I was never a fan of any of the Force India liveries that were sort of the silver and black with bits of orange and green thrown. No, I didn't like any of them. I really liked the Force Indias before that, where it was all white with really well-styled orange and green that really threw in the Indian flag. They looked awesome, like in Fisichella and Duresta days. But no, didn't like any of them.
Okay, I quite like the black and silver, the more black one. But I do agree. I loved the white and the orange and the greens. I did quite like that. What was Indian, wasn't it? Force India at the end of the day. I'm going to roll the. Let's do first giveaway, Jonty. Let's do first giveaway. Let's get excited. I've not been drinking. I did think about it. Not a good idea. So I'm going to roll it now. Hopefully this will work. It doesn't tend to. Yo, Borny. If you're in chat, say hello and let us know that you've got the message that you are our first winner tonight, and that's for £10 spent on Steam. Obviously, it'll convert to your local currency if you need it to. So do drop me a message on Twitter, on Discord, on Facebook, any of those, and let me know that you've seen this, and I will scratch it off and send you the code. Is the best way to do it. So congratulations. Hopefully you'll come along and see that one. If not, I will either give it away at the end of the stream if I don't hear anything. There we go, in chat. Awesome, no problems. Just drop me a message on Twitter, Facebook, or over on Discord. I don't mind which. All DMs are open because I'm just that kind of guy, which doesn't always work out too well. As I found out this week with messages, Dan, it's not always nice stuff that you get, but yeah.
Not always, no.
And that's just from you. The abuse is insufferable.
Well, I've got to throw it your way sometimes, keep you in check.
Yeah, all right, whatever. Let's roll on to one that I think, if anybody in chat disagrees, I don't like you. The Earth car, the bloody Honda Earth car, where somebody went, oh, should we design let's do a livery, and they went, what should we do? And there was obviously some kind of map on the wall, and they went, just stick that on it. It's horrible, Jonty. It's not even a little bit likable.
No, it's hideous. It's not even a nice photo of the Earth. It's just very, very bland CGI, and I can understand the concept behind it, but they could have done it so much better.
Yeah. I just don't... Why, Dan? Why? I mean, not why did you pick it? Absolutely right to pick it, but why? And the fact that the engine cover as well, it just goes to black.
Yeah, the reason this is in there for me is because when I was a kid, when I saw this, I didn't like it. And... obviously, the thinking behind this is that it's the Earth car. But I'm not going to lie, I didn't realise it was a picture of the Earth until probably last year. I had no clue. I just thought it was an ugly little green and blue livery. It's just so bad. On it, even now, if you're looking at it on the screen, you can't even tell that's supposed to be the Earth. Oh, that one's a little bit different.
That one's a fantastic promo shot.
Yeah. It's just dreadful. And the stripes that they had on the front as well, it makes no sense. And the Hondas before that, I actually didn't dislike. I thought they were right. So why on earth they decided to bring this thing out, I don't know, and I hope we never have anything like it again.
Seeing that picture now, I'm kind of wishing it was that car that Elon Musk had sent into space, so we didn't have to look at it again.
I'm looking at that now. I was just saying about the black on the engine cover, and I'm really hoping this isn't right, but is that supposed to represent night? On the other side of the world or something? Because if it is, then that's even worse. Space. That's true. I mean, wow. Somebody said in chat earlier, people have paid a lot of money to come up with these. Ellie says, why on earth? Exactly. Absolutely. Out of all the ones we've looked at here then, Jonty, is that the worst? Or do you think there's one that's worse than that?
I don't know. It's got to be up there as one of the worst. That, or I think maybe the Penthouse Hesketh, just for the mess.
Dan, the worst?
It's this, or this is poor history for me. But was it the shadow car that you said earlier with the lion thing on the front? It's between those two. I think this one just edges it for me. Both disgusting. I think all the ones we've seen are disgusting. So, yeah, this probably gets the crown.
I'd put the BAR in there, but at least that came with a message of up yours FIA.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, I think that's that and the shadow car for me are the worst. But I would also throw in the what do they call it? Rusty Water Williams. That's what I'm going to call it from now on. But yeah, absolutely awful. We're just gonna move off liveries. Hang on, no, we're not, Dan. We've got your other manor.
Ooh. Oh, the other manor.
I did put it in. I didn't think I had. Your Flexbot manor.
Just look at it, man. I mean, it's an embarrassment. I'm glad you didn't leave this one out. This one really wound me up because when I was doing my quote unquote research earlier, this was the manor I had in mind that I didn't like, and I couldn't find it. And then all of a sudden, it was there in front of me. And how could I forget? This just doesn't work. Doesn't work whatsoever. The 2014 manor, just the white and red, I quite liked. Then they added this manky purpley blue. This angle, it looks bad. The other angle is even worse. So, no, I don't like this one. What do you two think?
I still don't know what Flexbox is or was. That's what confuses me. I like to be able to at least know what the sponsors are. This, never heard of them before or since.
No. Unless they're like a really crap Netflix. Or a gym. A very small gym, maybe.
They were that desperate for sponsors.
I was just going to say, I think that's more what it was. It was like, we'll give you some money to put our name on your car. And they went, yeah, go for it. That's why somewhere on there probably says Trevor or something somewhere. Somebody offered him a $5. Yeah, I mean, it's not the worst I've seen, but I can kind of see why you've picked it. A bit like, see, I know you disagree with me, Jonty. I liked the slight purple tint to the Red Bull when they went with Infinity. But, it's almost a manner of trying to do a similar thing, but somehow managed to make it look worse.
Oh yeah, I really like the purple flip that was in the Red Bull livery. Mainly for me because it was like a little nod back to the Simtech. Yeah, and I quite like that.
Yeah, I think that's it. We are going to go into some ugly cars as well, because
they're worse.
They're worse than the liveries, and I'm so pleased you sent them. The ladder car. Well, I'm going to call it the ladder car. It's not a ladder. It's clearly just a radiator at the front. But I mean, I'm all for innovation, but I can't say that that's something I would ever fall in love with.
Yeah, it's pretty bad, isn't it? I mean, that's truly horrific. You can understand the idea for the cooling, but it caused them no end of problems, just making the air completely uncontrollable, even back then. And it's just, at least it was easy for him to get in.
Breaking news, Jonty. Flexbox is a shipping container company. Thank you very much to everyone in the chat for pointing that one out. I can sleep tonight. There you go. A shipping container company. I bet you're pleased you know that now.
It's so Formula One. Well, I suppose it is in a way, but there are bigger companies to get sponsored.
What do you reckon to that car, Dan? Do you like it? Do you reckon you can see Grosjean in one of them?
No, I would like to think Grosjean would never drive anything that ugly, though I'm not the biggest fan of the Haas livery, but that's something that's something else. I don't even think the radiator's even the only issue with this car, whatever that funny panel thing is behind the radiator. And then whoever this moron is driving, what sort of a helmet is that? That's an awful helmet as well. It's just a giant concoction of awful things, this car. No, not a fan.
You're right, mate.
Yeah, really triggered. Really well. As you can tell, I'm really getting into this. I'm enjoying myself, getting triggered, getting in heat in the moment. But no, don't like this one. I think.
Yeah, well, we've heard a lot about cooling, haven't we, in Formula One lately, with people struggling with, keeping their engines cool with these new hybrid engines we had in 2014. I mean, that airbox is an option, isn't it, Dan?
I quite like this. This looks quite funny. Looks like a Smurf. Like the blue bit's like his face, and then that bit's like his hat. I quite like it.
It does
made me chuckle.
I've seen that before. It really is.
I quite like that. Oh, that's funny. A little bit more cheery this time.
The Smurf car. Oh, I love it. I mean, I assume it's cooling, Jonty. I can't see that it's anything else. Maybe it's not aerodynamic, is it? Not as we know it now.
Oh, no, it's definitely cooling. It's back when they first sort of came across the idea that you can get a ram air effect on a naturally aspirated engine. So they all went crazy.
It's a thing. I don't really know what else to add to it. I'm going to spin on to the... It's another Honda Earth car, but it's one where they decided they weren't going to put the whole Earth on. They were just going to cut bits of it out with white and just have little strips of Earth on there because, you can't save the whole planet. But, God's sake, horns everywhere, Jonty. Just that'll do. Stick a bit of carbon fibre on it.
Yeah, if there's a flat bit, stick a wing on it. It looks ridiculous.
Is that a Beyonce song?
I don't know.
No. Anyway, Dan, I mean, perhaps you like that. I really don't.
No, I agree with you two this time. I will bow down and agree with you both. Yeah, they wouldn't allow that these days. That's for sure. I'm glad these sort of things have just left my memory. That's for sure. So it's quite nice going a little bit down memory lane and bringing them back up. But no, this one should stay in the history, I think.
It's got to be banned if you're the jackman, because we've seen drivers overshoot when they're coming into the pits, and if you're the jackman and get your ankles, you've got your knees as well.
I believe this is a deadly weapon. I think the idea of this was to slice mechanics' legs off, Jonty.
Yeah, good old. I think it was a March T-tray.
Oh yeah.
You don't need a wing. We'll just stick a surfboard on the front of the car.
Yeah, I don't know what. It's just. I like innovation. I like the fact that they try things, but sometimes I think they should try something, but then just take a step back, have a look, and then go, no, we'll try something else, rather than just, sticking it on the car, throw it out on the track and see what happens, because that's just awful. I mean, it's definitely something I'd like us to try and avoid in future. I've got to the Benetton, Jonty, and I'm not totally sure. Oh, maybe the back of the car's quite... What is that wing?
Exactly.
Sorry, I've been looking at the front of it going, it looks all right. It's a bit... Oh, hello.
Yeah.
Is it a V?
Yeah, this was early to mid-80s when they were all sort of trying to aim for arrow-shaped cars to cut through the air a bit more. The Brabham BT52 got it perfect and looked amazing. Benetton decided to try and get back some of the downforce by making a V-shaped rear wing that was enormous.
It's different, isn't it, Dan? It's different is the word.
Yeah, that is the word. I don't even think the front looks that nice either with that funny step nose. That's worse than the 2014 step noses. It's different is the perfect word.
Kind of reminds me of the 2014 Ferrari nose.
Yeah, it's not nice.
Somehow better.
Well spotted, go-kart Bob, though. It is Michele Amaretto.
Ah, there you go. Another airbox. I mean, is that, Jonty? I know it's cooling and I know it's an airbox, but I mean, yeah.
It's the shark fin box.
The shark fin box.
Look, it's horrible. And what makes it worse, look who's driving. You shouldn't be seeing that name with a car that's that horrible.
Help us millennials out. Who's driving?
Wait, it says it on the side of the car. Can you millennials not read?
No, us millennials need glasses. Obviously, too much screen time. So,
Graham Hill.
Thank you. Yes, thank you, guys. I'll pipe down.
Yeah, you don't associate Graham Hill in a car like that. I don't. If it's quick, it doesn't matter. But I can't imagine that was quick.
No, it wasn't. That was towards the end of his career, and it was terrible.
But then even like the Tyrrell had quite a high airbox, didn't it? That Jackie Stewart was winning in regularly. So obviously it worked for some, but that's just, yeah. Roll on. I've put a couple in that I wanted to share. First of all, anything that had the 20 whatever it was gentleman's appendage nose. Yeah, that the Caterham had. Any car that had that on goes in this list, regardless of what the car looked like otherwise. It is ridiculous. It's horrible. It is, yeah, disgusting, Jonty.
Yeah, available at any Anson's High Street branch for $9.99.
Well, that's me right off my tee.
Yeah, it's one of it just highlights those situations that they've had to try and regulate around. You know, if you tell them one thing, they will do everything to just about get close to it.
Were you a fan of the dildo nose, Dan?
No, and you know, being a Lotus supporter, that the double nose didn't have one of these bad boys; it had two of them. So no, and to think. What always gets me with these sort of things is to think someone actually drew that. Someone intentionally put that on the car, knowing what it looked like. No, don't like this one either, funnily enough.
I think this was, again, I think another example where the teams were giving the finger to the FIA. I think they were just sort of saying, well, you know, all right, you want us to lower the nose, but your regulations mean we can do this. And it's just absolutely horrendous. But I'm putting it on the list, and I don't care this next one. It will be an unpopular call, but the walrus nose on the Williams, I know some people absolutely love it. I hated it when it came out. I love the innovation. I love that they were trying something new, but I hated it, Dan.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. This thing, especially looking at and like the other cars at the time, this was just so out of the box. But it's a walrus nose is a polite way of putting it. I think it's not very aesthetically pleasing, is it? So. No, not a.
No, was it you, John, who said you quite like it? I was talking to somebody else. Might have been Stuart.
Stuart said he quite liked it, and I hated it at first. I don't know. I even sent you a picture of it for these horrid cars, but it has grown on me quite a lot because of the innovation and the freedom that it offers up for the front wing. And I think it could make a big change if they had something like that now. To enable cars to follow easier.
I just don't like it. I don't like it. And the last one on the ugly cars is the beautiful arrows. The fantastic idea of strapping a whopping great mini version, obviously taken from some kind of die-cast model, rear wing to the front of their car. How that passed anything, I have no idea. It was banned, by the way, for those who are anti-Halo. We're not getting to that debate, but it was banned because it might impair drivers' vision. Think of that what you will. But, I mean, why, John? Who passes these things? This turned up at the track, it went racing, and it was allowed to race for the weekend before it was banned.
Yeah, it's... Again, they just... Ooh, this might work. It looks ridiculous. Yeah, well, we'll do it anyway. Why not?
Do you like that, Dan? I bet you love just the wings everywhere. Why not?
I tell you what, I think, you know, if I'm reading this correctly, the sponsor on the front of that is just, it sums up the designers perfectly. They obviously out of ideas, thought they'd chuck a wing on the front. So It's a very Halloweeny livery, which which looks very nice and matches very well. But no, the wing, as I've said many a time today, I'm not a fan.
Nope. We'll leave it there for the ugly cars then. But we're going to do another giveaway. Yo, Borny, if you are still in chat, don't forget to message me on Facebook or on Twitter through direct message or on Discord as well so that I can give you your prize. But I'm going to roll it again and give somebody else a chance to win it. And we've got Bill Robinson. Bill Robinson. I feel like I'm doing a bingo. I should be doing bingo. We've got Bill Robinson. If you're in chat, mate, let me know that you're in chat. Congratulations. That's another £10 Steam card. I'll be doing another giveaway on the other side of the room tour in just a moment, which is something courtesy of Hayley, because she's a legend. But if you're in chat, let us know you're there. And yes, we will hopefully get that to you again with a direct message on Twitter, Facebook, Discord, all of that. But guys, you get a nice 9.5 minute break now because I'm going to be showing people around my room. It's a pre-recorded video, so I get to go to sleep for 9 minutes. How nice am I?
Grab a drink, go for the toilet. Very nice, thank you.
Yeah, chance for a yellow flag break.
I love how we share. I really love how we share things sometimes. But yeah, I will talk to you both in just a few minutes. I'm going to send you for a tour now, though, of my room. The F1 word. Oh, it's a spare room. Here we are then. Welcome to the F1 word studio. It's a spare room. It's a spare room, Sean. It's not a studio. Despite the number of acoustic foam tiles on the wall, it is just a spare room. But I do my best with what I have. So this is where all my videos, of course, and whatnot get made, where I'm streaming from as you're watching this right now. So that is a TV. I'll not bore you with all the technical stuff. That is a TV. Of course, I use that for watch-alongs and whatnot when they get done. So Sky is through there. Definitely head on over if you're here for the first time and subscribe to that channel. It's a really good channel. He's a bit of a knob at times, but you tend to get used to him quite quickly. Not talking about John T, so he'll kill me for that one. But yes, so definitely go check that one out. But that is the TV for watch-alongs. The Skybox for which is behind there somewhere. Just ignore cable management, by the way, today. So yeah, monitors, that's HD. I haven't got enough ports to have the TV plugged in as well, so I've only got enough for 2 monitors. So that is the main monitor where I'll have OBS and things open for streaming and do most of my editing work and whatnot. That one is just where I tend to have chat open and sort of stuff for reference when I'm sort of researching things for videos. So they are my 2 monitors. There's a chair, it's fantastic there. There is a little Xbox under there as well, Xbox One S for the odd occasion. I get to play some computer games, not very often, but they are there. It is there for when I want to play that. That is my microphone, the Rode Podcaster, I believe. I would like a proper XLR mic at some point, so hopefully I'll be able to get I think it's a Procaster, I think the XLR mic is, but anyway, that's a really good starter mic for anybody that wants to do YouTube. In this corner is that. It hates me, and I hate it. We don't get on. That is that. We're just going to move on. Apologies for the cable management. A tripod there for the camera for when I take it to Autosport in January. But yes, let's not talk about the PC. We don't get on. Onto the stuff then, the memorabilia, I suppose, most things, or the things that most people will be interested in. Contrary to what you're going to see in this room, I am not a Mercedes, Lewis Hamilton, Sebastian Vettel fanboy at all. I just pick up merch that I like, and that is that. You'll also not see everything I've got. I've got a lot of stuff in storage at my parents' house still, so that's been there. I moved out when I was 19. So yeah, it's been there a long time. It's been there a very long time. So yes, I will find it at some point. But I really like. Got this from Silverstone in 2016, I think. Really loved the Mercedes teamwear that year. So I went and bought that one. 200 quid plus that cost me. So I look at some of the issues I'm having with the PC at the moment and think that could have been spent better. But never mind. There we go. I picked it up. It's a nice jacket. To be fair, I do wear it as well. So that's awesome. Now this was bought for me by either my dad or my nan. I think it was my nan from the local market. Not my nan from the local market, she bought it from the local market. So I don't know how legit that signature is. I would wager not very. But it's a nice little picture. A little bit of a stat there. Record breaker, the first driver to finish on the podium in his first 3 Grand Prix. I don't know how legit that stat is, but maybe that's one to discuss at some point. That is not legit. That is quite clearly Fernando Alonso's McLaren. Excuse my shaky camera work, because it's got the big fat number 1 on there. So yes, that is definitely Alonso's McLaren. So that's an error, but that is not. That is a fantastic picture from Hayley Mulch. She sent me that for the first birthday of the F1 word. Thank you very much, Hayley. All framed up there. Love that. Absolutely love it. Scrolling on, not the first thing we'll see from Hayley. Mercedes, I think 2015 2015. I'm sure you're going to correct me in chat after this. Could be 2016. It is Lewis Hamilton, but that was bought for me by the in-laws. Really good model, that. Really like that one. So should probably be in a box, but that's boring. Who keeps things in boxes? Nobody. Yes, so onto this one. We've got a replica, not a replica, a memorabilia type commemorative hat thing for Sebastian Vettel's 4 world titles. That was in 2013, of course. I tend to pick stuff like this up. If Lewis Hamilton does one for his 5th, I will probably buy that, just like I would if Alonso did one for his 3rd, if he ever won a 3rd. But you know what I mean. I tend to pick stuff like this up. So the storage at my parents' house is full of stuff like that, commemorative stuff. But we will roll on down. This one here is Sebastian Vettel's 2013 Red Bull, the RB9, of course. It says it on there, so look at me, pretending I know. This here is from the awesome Hayley Mulch again. Thank you very much for sending me that, Hayley. Love it. It's not on my keys because I don't want to damage it. I'm so paranoid about damaging it. So that, of course, is Charles Leclerc. Along we go to this. I love this. I'm not going to lie. I really like that. It's a mini helmet. I think it's one of his Singapore ones, Sebastian Vettel. Really, really like that one. Really nice helmet. So really cool. I think that was from the in-laws as well, possibly. So that's added bonus. We'll scroll along now to one of my many pride and joy items. I think we could call it that. Of course, that's a replica helmet of Ayrton Senna's mini one. Absolutely love that. Fantastic. Probably should be in a box. It's probably better looked after than me, to be fair. But it probably should be in a box, but absolutely love that piece of kit. So yeah, really, really cool. Let's have a look here. This is... I bought this from Silverstone in 2016, but I bought this because I realised that aside from everything Michael Schumacher that's currently in a garage at my parents' house, I had nothing Ferrari. So I decided to pick that one up from Silverstone. So it is a Vettel one, of course, as you can see from the number 5. Yeah, there it is, number 5. But yes, that is my Sebastian Vettel helmet. Too much memorabilia already at storage at my parents. Should really go fetch it all. This is also Sebastian Vettel. That will be 2012, I think. 2012 Red Bull. It is signed, and I've got some evidence a little bit later on that will prove that it was signed by him in person, not just some person randomly somewhere. I don't know. But do like that picture. That's up there. And then here, once again, the lovely Hayley made me this picture of Charles Leclerc. Sent me this picture. She's got quite a few on her store. It's fantastic. Absolutely loved that the minute I saw it. So had to have it, and she sent me it, bless her. So thank you very much, Hayley. Again, really appreciate it. It's got Pride of Joy. There is a space here, or Pride of Place rather, but there is a space here for maybe a piece of artwork from another store, or who knows, maybe in 12 months' time we'll see. You never ever know, do you? So let's have a little bit of a run through something. We've got a top shelf actually first. So Max Verstappen cap. Yeah, nothing really to say about that. It is a Max Verstappen one. Lewis Hamilton got this, I think, for Silverstone 2016 as well. More for that than anything. I do think that's quite cool. So that's a Lewis Hamilton one. And that is an original F1 word snapback. And that is limited edition because I think I've got one, ST's got one, I believe Jonah's got one, and I think Nosy Guy got one as well. So there are 4 in the world. 4 in the world. That could literally be worth nothing in a few years' time. So yeah, very, very cool. They are not available to buy in shops. Replica Nacional, if I'm saying that correct. Ayrton Senna cap. It is not a real signature, of course. It's on the side there. Ayrton Senna signature on there. So love that one. So I'm going to sort that one out now. So these came free with a magazine, I believe. This is the MP4-4 from 1988. Ayrton Senna's... was it the 88 one that was pretty... Yeah, it's a pretty dominant car, wasn't it? Sorry, having a real brain fart moment. But yeah, this one as well, the Tolman that he drove, of course, in Monaco. Really like that car. Really like that livery as well. Reminds me of the Manor from a few years ago, but I really do like that one. And yes, some Black Wolf product back there. Make sure you go check them out. Yes, I'm plugging. Check them out in the description down below. There is a link down there. This is a shelf, though, that's absolutely full of my... pride and joy. We've got Nigel Mansell here, 1992. Williams, dominant car, absolutely dominant, but here we go, look. Yes, so, Marussia cap, signed, as you can see, by Max Chilton, and also by the awesome Jules Bianchi. Yeah, big deal, that hat for me, real big deal. And then, so is this, also signed by the man himself, Mr. Jules Bianchi, so quite a... should we call it an emotional shelf, but still, I love, yeah, just, I very much look after those ones, as I'm sure you can understand. We're going to go down here. There's not much down here, actually, to be fair. We've got another Mercedes. That came free with the magazine. I didn't complete that collection because I missed 2, and then I was like, screw it. I'm not going to complete it. I'm not doing it anymore. So that is 2014. This, I've got hundreds of these. That's probably an exaggeration. Probably tens of these stashed in all sorts of places. They're not actual replicas of cars. They're like, could you call them livery models? I suppose you could. Where, if you want to call them what you want, basically it was a standard model of an F1 car and they just covered them in different liveries, and that's obviously the Jordan from, don't ask me the year, I can't remember, but I really, really like that one. There is the evidence that Mr. Vettel signed the picture that I've already shown you up on the wall, so that is legit. Down here, books. I do read sometimes. I've read most of those. I'm halfway through this for a second time, the Adrian Newey one. Fantastic read. Definitely get that. That's the box that Senna came in his helmet, and another Sebastian Vettel signed picture back there. But that is, well, yeah, pretty much it at the moment. Still working on the room, trying to make sure I get it kind of a bit better. I need some more foam tiles up there and things. Could probably do with some. It's quite a big, really tall ceilings, so it's difficult. That's why you're always going to hear echo on live streams and things. But I do the best with what I got, definitely. So hopefully, over the coming weeks and months, there'll be some additions to this, using the camera for the first time, which I'm definitely going to use at Autosport. But yeah, that is basically a very quick look around where all the work is done on the F1 word. So I'm going to be really cheesy now, and this is really weird. I'm going to hand back to myself in the live stream. So there you go, a look around my studio. No, I'm not a Hamilton fanboy. Stop it. I've had these two in my ear through that whole video. Oh, Hamilton fanboy. Oh, Vettel fanboy. It's not. I see merch, I buy it, and that's that. But yes, hope you enjoyed that. Did the face reveal for the 10K, just to make sure people know that. And then the room tour for the 50K. 50K seems really, really odd. Should we do another giveaway, John? To your feeling, another giveaway?
Yeah, why not? Seems a good time.
I think so. Hayley Mulch is an absolute legend, and anybody who says she isn't is lying. She's absolutely brilliant. As you saw in that room tour there, she's sent me some of her stuff as well, keyring and bits like that. And she so kindly has agreed to give away 2 key rings to 1 lucky winner of the drivers of your choice. She's also said that if you see a driver on the website that is not listed, then she will still have the stuff together to make you that one. So I think Kimi Räikkönen is out of stock, I think is one. Possibly Charles Leclerc as well, but she will make you those if they are the ones you want. So make sure you've put your hashtag 50K in, and I'm going to roll it in just a second. This one I will definitely need you to message me on Discord and Twitter, because we'll need to know which ones you want, and also we'll need addresses and things like that. Don't worry, we won't stalk you. We will. Well, I won't. I can't promise about Hayley, but we will try not to stalk you, and we will get those sent to you as well. So I'm going to give you a second. Just there's loads of hashtag 50Ks coming in now. Has she not done Lance yet, Ellie? Just Ellie's quite outraged, Jonty, that she's not done Lance Stroll.
Well, if she's lucky, you never know. She might have to do.
You could, Ellie, you could own the only Lance Stroll one. That could be worth a fortune.
She could do a special one with a prince's crown, ready for next year.
I wonder if she'd do a limited edition King Marcus of Ericsson one for when he leaves F1. Because I know there's probably about 1,000 people over on Discord that would probably buy that.
But I think just a picture on the throne.
The toilet. Yeah, I am going to do. I'm just letting people get their 50Ks in. Quite a few. So
we could do the carbon fibre throne instead of the iron throne.
Yes. Oh, I like that. I like that. Definitely. Right then, by the way, there is, if I will say actually, I'll give her a plug as well. I've got to do this. In the description, there is a link to Ellie's store. Go and have a look. There's some really good stuff over there. Absolutely fantastic. I mean, she sent me the Charles Leclerc picture. Honestly, Dan, if she hadn't have sent it, I would have bought it anyway.
Yeah, I'm going to check it out straight after this. Some of that looked pretty special. So, yeah, I definitely would recommend going over there, because I will be straight after.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So I am going to smash that roll it button now then. So here, if I can find, where's it gone? Oh, hello. There we go. Oh dear. So I've rolled it, and the winner is Jonathan Rodriguez. If you are in chat, mate, do let me know. Obviously, any of these that we don't get to give away tonight, I'll either do on social media, on Discord, or we'll do them on Sunday stream or something like that. But yeah, Jonathan Rodriguez is the winner of the key rings, if he wants to let us know in chat. And then, of course, don't forget to message me over on Twitter, Facebook, or on Discord so that we can, give you your prize, basically. There must be an easier way to do giveaways than this, than people having to message me. I suppose not really, is there? I'm going to have a look for next time, John, to see if there's something else out there.
Yeah, I'm sure we can figure something out.
But yeah, we'll give people time. I'll give them all another shout as well towards the end of the stream. Make sure that we've got everybody as well. But we're going to do trick or treat. Yeah, we are. Basically, I've decided to put literally in this cap. You can hear the paper there rustling away. A ton, and by a ton I mean like 50. I was bored. 50 F1 names from history in here, and we're basically going to decide between us, have a bit of a debate, because I can see this getting heated if certain names come out. One, Roman Grosjean, I doubt it. I doubt it, but you never know. But if he does come out, I can see that getting quite a heated debate. But basically, on their conduct, what we thought of them as a driver, whether or not they get a trick or a treat. I am going to start off, though, because they are on screen and they have got dressed up just for this occasion. Their pictures. Lance Stroll and Marcus Ericsson, got to be treats, haven't they, Jonty? Surely they are channel mascots.
Yeah, automatic treats, no matter what they do. That Lance is lucky that he's got through, ready for next year. It could have been someone else, but because of that, gets a treat. They both get Jaffa cakes.
They both get Jaffa cakes. do you agree with that, Dan, or would you give them another cake-based biscuit?
I didn't realise we were specifying the treat, so I have to work around my treat knowledge. Yes, they get a treat. That mask from Ericsson, that is double treats for me. Beautiful looking.
Yeah, we weren't going to specify the treats, but I kind of like the idea of having to. Now we can scale it. Jaffa cake is the top treat. Of course they are. So we're going to have a little... I'll do it at the mic so people know I am rummaging and not just saying Grosjean 6 times. And we have got... first one out of the hat is... Ooh... That was a bit camper than it needed to be. Jean Alesi. That's a treat, surely. Unless I'm missing something, Jonty. I think he was a really likeable guy. Really, he wasn't a dirty racing driver or anything like that. So I'd go treat, I think.
Yeah, I'd go treat. He never really did anything too nasty. And he got that one win.
The Mighty Dash says give him a curly whirly. Seems reasonable. Yeah. Jean Alesi, Dan, I know he's a little bit before your time, as you like to keep reminding us, but yeah.
Yeah, I agree, treat, but I don't think curly whirly. I think a French fancy would be quite fit.
Ah, very good. Very good. You can't use that if another French driver comes out now, can you?
No.
Have a rummage. There will be some...
If it's Grosjean, he could have frog's legs.
Is that a treat? I hope that's a treat you're suggesting there, John T.
No, it's most definitely a trick.
Heikki Kovalainen. Dan, John T.
I'd go with the treat. And he's lucky as old Heikki, but it's not a special treat. We're talking about some chocolate buttons or something very bog standard, but he just about gets a treat. Seems like a nice guy. So, yeah, why not?
Just like, it didn't ever drive for Williams. So, McLaren did it. Yeah, drive for McLaren, he can have a Freddo.
Yeah, of course. He gets a consolation Freddo because he was kind of just a throwaway teammate. Felt a bit sad for him.
Just sort of there, wasn't he? Really? He's just, yeah. I don't remember him being anything awful, really.
No, he was never terrible. It was just... He was never going to be given a real shot.
We've got all French, Olivier Panis. I liked Olivier Panis. I might be in a minority there. We've never really discussed him on the channel, so I don't know what you guys think of him, but I always liked him. Good race. I think it's quite underrated. He wasn't anything amazingly special, but he was a good driver, nice guy. And I see. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jonty. This might be tapping into some gossipy memory somewhere, but I seem to think there was something about Olivier Panis, Michael Schumacher, and who eventually became Michael Schumacher's wife. I might be wrong.
I don't know that one. I've not heard that. All I was going to say is he gets a treat for Monaco 96 just for getting to the end with his car in one piece. When all of the top drivers were just throwing it at the wall willy-nilly.
Yeah. I don't know where I've heard that. That was Frentzen, apparently. I've heard it somewhere. There was some kind of EastEnders style storyline going on with a couple of drivers over an eventual wife, I think. But yeah, a couple in chat mentioning Montreal '97. I think you could maybe argue that, as somebody said there, screwed him up. I think that's maybe a bit harsh, but I think that maybe really knocked his career back, because that was 2 broken legs. That was a nasty accident, wasn't it, John C?
Yeah, that was horrific. And any accident like that is going to affect a driver's career.
Do you remember Olivier? I don't know if you remember Olivier Panis at all, Dan?
Sort of. Olivier Panis to me was the man who I used to do career modes on F1 2001 on the PS2. So a little bit different, but yeah, he gets a treat from me for being my career mode star. So
yeah, cool. There you go. A treat. Yeah, I think a treat. There's nothing up with him at all. He came out of the naughty and nice list as well. Jolyon Palmer. I love doing Jolyon Palmer.
Trick. Get in the bin.
See, I'd say better pundit than racing driver.
I don't know about that.
But I think I'd say Trick. I think I would go Trick.
You've got to be alert on the Halloween circuit.
See, that's great advice he gave. So I think that's a treat. You know, whenever I'm driving, I think of Jolyon's great words. So for me, it's a treat.
Yeah, but he said that, and less than an hour later, planted it into the Armco.
Yeah, but it's things like that he deserves to be treated. I feel, you know, it puts a smile on people's faces, so I'm happy to give him a smile.
Trick. Has to be Trick. I can't. I just, no.
Yeah. He gets a chocolate-coated Sprout.
Chocolate coat? Ugh. I mean, I like chocolate and I don't really mind Sprouts, but no.
That's a great one for Halloween. You make chocolate-coated Sprouts and pass them off as Ferrero Rocher.
That sounds like a lot of effort.
It's worth it.
Nico Rosberg, 2016 Formula One world champion. Just thought I'd put that in there, you know, as soon as I've got his jacket hung on my door. Yeah.
Trick. Miserable.
I think you wanted to swear there, didn't you?
No, my mic cut off.
Convenient. See, pre-2014, I don't think he was that bad. It's only once he really became a title contender, him versus his teammate every week, that he suddenly started to play dirty at times. I'm not saying that other drivers haven't. Of course, drivers play dirty. A lot have. But it was 2016 in particular, John T. I think back to Austria, which did make for some great banners at Silverstone the week later. But yeah, something about him after 2014 onwards. I think I'd agree with Trick.
Hamilton fanboys everywhere. He's got the merch. Now he's having to go at Rosberg. Very typical. This man deserves a treat for knocking down Hamilton once, just changing up the meta a little bit. And of course, you know, he does like a bit of Formula E, you know, so that's a treat for me, I'm afraid. I'll go against you both again.
He likes a bit of Formula E because it's probably the only thing he's anywhere near good enough to race in.
Oh. Yeah, being serious, personally, it's just a thing of I can't call him a champion, because in my mind, a champion will always try to defend their title. They don't have to successfully defend it. They can be beaten the year after, but they've got to put it on the line. Do you know what I mean? I know he had family things to think about, but yeah, that's just the way I see it in all sports, not just F1.
My issue with Rosberg over that I'm retiring so I want to spend more time with my family is that pretty much from Bahrain onwards that next season, he was at every race. Which to me is just somebody who didn't want to. I mean, I can understand doesn't want to go through all that stress again of trying to win a world championship, but then just say that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I never really had a big issue with Rosberg. I just think he just seemed to turn really, which I suppose comes with all the praise. It was him versus his teammate for so many years because nobody got close to him. So, you know, inter-team battling and whatnot. Let's move on. Alexander Wirtz. Yeah, that's a tricky one. He had his moments. I quite liked him. Right, I'm using my brain now. His debut was 1997. Didn't he stand in for Gerhard Berger, who had to take time off for, I think his dad passing?
I think so, yeah. You see, Wirtz, as people are saying in chat, Wirtz was good in qualifying. In the race, I can only ever seem to remember him barrel rolling over the top of other people.
Canada 98, yeah.
It takes some real effort to remove all four wheels from your car.
I don't think he deserves a trick, but I'm not entirely convinced he really deserves a treat. Classic Sean on the fence. But yeah, I just don't really, yeah.
I don't remember a lot about him personally. I know, awful again. I remember 07. Was that his last season? 07? So I just remember, I think it was Coulthard nearly swiped his hands off in Australia. That's all about I remember from Alex Wirtz. So yeah, I'll be on the fence with you. I don't know.
In fact, no, I'll give him a consolation treat just for that incident with Coulthard, because that must have been terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to do two more. We'll go. I'm going to do that again. Just sat here playing with paper as you do all day. It's really exciting. You should try it. It's really fun. I ripped that one. This is going really, really well. Pascal Wehrlein.
Treat.
Oh, yeah, I have to agree.
I like Wehrlein. I did a whole video on him the other week, so of course I like him. He's a good racing driver. Showed what he could do. Marcus Ericsson wanted 1 million miles away from him. I know that before chat starts. I know ST's going to come straight in with that one. Oh, look at how close he was. But I would probably say, I still think, I don't like saying deserves, but kind of earned another shot at F1. But looking forward to seeing him in Formula E next year, Dan. Really looking forward to that. But I'd go treat.
Yeah, I think that's why I'd give him treat as well. I think he got a bit unlucky with F1. Timing with different drives, Mercedes having Ocon as well, didn't quite fall into place. Formula E next year looked great for him. Seems like a very nice guy, so definitely a treat. And a Jaffa cake. I'd give him a Jaffa cake as well, that top dollar. Very impressive.
Full Jaffa cake treat.
Full Jaffa cake. I'd give him a full pack as well. Not one of these little sharer packed lunch boxes. None of that nonsense. A full pack of Jaffa cakes.
Who shares Jaffa cakes?
No, you know these little packed lunch ones.
What even are those? They're an insult. They're the size of a 50p.
Who shares Jaffa? It's like those cheesecakes. When you go to the supermarket and it goes, serves 8, and I just look at them and go, yeah, we'll see. Just who shares stuff like Jaffa? Share bags of Maltesers. No, you're all right. Last one, and it's a good one, Jonty. I like this one. It's an easy one to answer, but we can have a bit of a moan. Mr. Jacques Villeneuve.
It rhymes with trick. Yeah, trick all the way. Something really, really unpleasant. Like, give Canada back to France or something. Just to really, really step on his toes. All he does is stick his nose in current F1 because he's not relevant and never was. He's bitter that he's always tried to be as good as his dad and he never will be.
Give Canada back to the French. I thought we were talking Brussels sprouts wrapped in chocolate and maybe razor blades or something, but yeah, we can go politics on that one. I can't stand him. Never liked him, obviously, in 1997. Who the hell he thinks he is trying to overtake Michael Schumacher for a title decider, I have no idea. But yeah, no, I just didn't like him. I thought he came into F1 really arrogant. He thought he was better than he actually was. He's, as you've said multiple times, John T has this delusion that he was somewhere near as good as his dad, and he never was. And I think you've hit the nail on the head. So desperate to stay relevant at the moment. And he has no relevance at all. So trick all the way, and I would give him the worst trick I could possibly give him.
I mean, just thinking about it now, it's just the vice versa situation of Max and Jos Verstappen.
Yeah.
This time around, it's the kid that's 10 times better. And it's the dad that's being an arrogant idiot. But Jack Villeneuve proved it this weekend. You know, during an interview with someone at the Grand Prix, and he was still complaining about her F97. It's like, you went on to win the title that year, and Schumacher got disqualified. Stop complaining.
You're all right, mate. Do you need a? I can't stand him.
Sorry.
Poor Dan sat there all quietly like, Jacques who?
No, I'm just understand. Don't get in the way of an angry Brummy, you know. So
Not a Brummy.
I do agree with you though.
I'm going to guess you live somewhere south of London.
That is very correct. Very privileged.
Yeah, so it's a common thing. Anyone who lives below London, if it's somewhere north of London, it's automatically Birmingham. I get that all the time.
Hello.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit more north of Birmingham.
I'm genuinely closer to Manchester. That's not a good
mank.
thing.
I don't know. I think I'm just a yellow belly. I think that's what we're called here. I read some totally random tangent. This one, I was out with my parents on Saturday. Well, the whole family, and we went and had a look at did some shopping, Christmas shopping and whatnot. And there's this sign on the wall in the shopping centre in Lincoln, and it says that yellow bellies are really inclusive and accepting of other people and new people to their area. And I was like, what? Who wrote that? They've obviously never been to Lincolnshire. You only have to read the Facebook comment section on some of the newspaper posts to know that's a load of rubbish. Not in my backyard. Again, sounds very wrong, but yeah. Let's move on. I've still not heard from Jonathan Rodriguez on the Key Wing.
The Key Wing. That's the special limited edition Bottas version.
The key ring giveaway. I'm rolling on from that one quickly before I get Hamilton fanboy again. Yes, so do make sure you send me a message. Let me know. I have heard from Yo Borney. Awesome name. So I'll do your giveaway in a bit, mate. But we're going to roll it again for another giveaway. So make sure you got your hashtag 50Ks in there. We're going to take some of your questions in just a moment as well before we end. Yeah. I'll tell you what, while they're doing the hashtag 50Ks, are you looking forward to Brazil, Dan? It's usually a good race. I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, it's usually all right. I mean, it's going to be a completely different ball game. Obviously, Championship's now gone, but Constructors is still there. Grosjean's still got to get up to 7th place in the standings. So yeah, I'll be looking forward to it definitely.
Yeah, we like Brazil, but then we like Canada as well, don't we?
Yeah.
So, I'm a little bit reluctant to say too much. It'll be a terrible race, won't it, John? To be the worst of the year.
Oh yeah. It's going to be horrendous and it won't rain.
Do we want rain?
It doesn't matter if we want it or not. It's Brazil. It always rains.
That's true.
At least one of the days.
Was it last year or a year before when Kimi Räikkönen lost it down that start-finish straight, and that almost forced the FIA into... Some people thought there was maybe a phone call to stop that race.
Oh, yeah, when Max had the luckiest escape I've seen in a long time, which he says he did brilliantly. It was pure luck.
I'm sure there was something, because the race was going ahead and they're running on a safety car and they kept restarting it. Cars struggling to stay on the track. 2016, people saying in chat, absolutely all over the place. And there was some talk that the red flag came out because somebody at the FIA was like, no, let's not do this. Remember 2014 Japan, let's not be stupid. But yeah, I don't know if that's true. That's just something I'd heard, but it wouldn't surprise me. I think things were very nervous after Japan 2014 for a couple of years, weren't they, whilst they were waiting for the halo and other safety stuff to come in.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
There you go. Let's do the giveaway then. Let's do another one. I'm going to roll it. But we've got what the noise was for, but there you go. Brent George, you've won a £10 Steam gift card, mate. Make sure you drop me a message, direct message on Twitter, on Discord, or on Facebook, and I will try and make sure we get that to you. If I don't hear from those that have won, by the way, by probably midday tomorrow, I'll give something away on social media. Maybe do one again on Sunday during the stream. So I definitely want to get rid of them because I don't game anymore, John, on my PC because I don't want to run it unnecessarily. Really, it's just I hate it. It hates me as well.
Yeah, well, we still need to sort that out. Unfortunately, I can't do diagnoses over the phone.
We'll have to try and arrange a day and get you up here, or I'll come down to you and we'll just take a hammer to it. Well, I'll take a hammer to it. You can repair it after taking a hammer to it.
Well, just thinking now makes complete sense. Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, end of season. Yeah, so I'm awake. I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea. We can make that work.
We'll just. I've just realised we're live. We're discussing food. She's got the pub. Should we get something to eat? Yeah, Brent George in chat. Thank you very much, mate. Congratulations, you've won the gift card. Do message me on Twitter, Facebook, Discord. One of those ones. Direct messages are open across them, so do get in touch for that one, and we will get that all sorted. So I'm going to take some questions, but before I do that, I'm going to take them from what's that thing I upload videos to? YouTube. Oh dear. Thunderball 8000 says, who do you think will take the final Toro Rosso and final Williams seat? The Toro Rosso one, I think, is going to go to Albon, if I'm being honest. I think that's looking highly likely. The Williams one, I have no idea, because apparently Robert Kubica, Jonty's talking to Ferrari about a development role then. So that's suddenly, Ocon, Gutierrez has been thrown in the picture, and Sorokin, probably.
Yeah, exactly. It's all over the place. I genuinely wouldn't like to guess. For the Williams seat, it's just all over the place. Logically, it should probably be Sorokin, but anything could happen. Like we said, with the political stuff going on further afield to do with that from his backers, who could call it now?
What do you reckon, Dan? Toro Rosso and Williams?
Yeah, I think Albon's almost a given now. I feel that there's no rumours about that seat at all anymore, it seems like. And I think you're both right as well. Williams seems like it's anyone's game as well. It really seems completely wide open. But to answer the question, I'd go Albon and Ocon.
I see. I all this talk now about Ocon, I think, is just, it's gone the other way. I genuinely believe that deal was completely dependent on the Rich Energy deal.
Yeah, that's a good point. Hadn't thought of that.
There was a lot of talk of Ocon when all the talk about Rich Energy started. Then all of a sudden it was like, oh, Ocon's in for the seat, and that was the rumour, and people talking about it getting ready to be confirmed. I don't know how true that was, but that's what was sort of rumbling around at the time. And then that fell through, and suddenly it was back to, yeah, Ocon's probably going to take a sabbatical. So I kind of feel that was pretty dependent on that one, unfortunately. But Cherry13 says, who will win a championship first out of Leclerc, Verstappen, Ocon, Norris, Russell? With respect to them, I think we can rule out Norris because he's going to McLaren. He's going to be there long term, and they're not going to win a championship probably ever again. Sorry, McLaren fans, just my opinion. Ocon, he's taking a year out, so he's instantly already going to be sort of dropping a year behind some of those. Russell, I think between Leclerc, Verstappen, and Russell, I'm going to go.
What I was going to say is, if Vettel can't sort out his game for next year and tidy up the mistakes, and Ferrari themselves tidy up the strategies, then Leclerc. But other than that,
Russell? See, I was leaning towards Leclerc. It's hard not to say Verstappen because he's been around for so long, or seems to have been around for so long in the sport now, and he was the next big thing, wasn't he? But Leclerc, he's getting into one of the right cars at the right time, isn't he? There's no rules reset really before 2021, a tweak next year, but yeah,
exactly that. Unless Honda pulls some incredible miracle from somewhere over the winter, Max is going to have a year of development.
Yeah.
Whilst Leclerc will be fighting for the title that same year.
What do you reckon, Dan? That's a tough question.
Yeah, I just needed a minute there just to really try and map everything out. I mean, Ocon as well. If he has a year out this year, depends on how Bottas does. He might jump into that Mercedes, but is Ocon better than Hamilton? I'd go Leclerc if I was being honest. I think Leclerc will actually be very closely matched to Seb next year, and I think if Ferrari can fully get their act together, I think Leclerc is probably in with a chance next year. Probably a little bit of an extreme opinion, but yeah, I'd go Leclerc would be my answer, and I'd be surprised if it was anyone else actually.
Last one from the YouTube comment section before I have a look at Twitter and then start taking yours from chat. Simon J says, do you think Lewis will get the title in 2019? And who will come out on top next year out of Leclerc, Gasly or Ricciardo? Out of those, I would say, again, Leclerc, not because he's a super amazing talent, which he is, but because he's going to be in, at worst, the second car on the grid in theory. So, obviously, that's based on what we know now. Obviously, that could change if Honda turn up next year with a decent engine. But I'd say Leclerc at the minute. But Hamilton winning the title next year, I think you look at 2017, John T, it was close until after the summer break. This year was even closer until we got to the summer break. So in theory, next year, it should be even closer probably until the summer break. But I think he's got his work cut out next year because I'm not convinced Honda are going to have the dire season everyone expecting them to have.
I'm not going to call. Like I say with Honda, they've got to do something special over the winter. Now, it could well be the fact that Red Bull have approached them the right way and just said, you make the best engine possible, we will make it fit in the car. Which is completely different to what McLaren did and caused them all no end of trouble. So, nah. I think he will, but it'll be very close. It'll be within 10 points.
Yeah.
Dan?
Yeah, see, I'm one of those, not Honda haters, but I'm not optimistic. I think it's going to be a better engine than the Renault engine next year. I do think that's probably the case, but I still don't think it's going to make a big enough jump to put Red Bull back in that fight. Again, I'm gonna keep flying this Charles Leclerc flag today. I don't know where this is coming from, but I think he's got a real chance. So I think Leclerc could take it. I would, yeah. Hamilton, no, he's been almost faultless this year. Maybe at the beginning of the season could have performed a little bit better, lucked out a little bit at that first win in Azerbaijan. So I imagine Hamilton will up his game again, but I think Ferrari will be the best car next year. Just, obviously this is all just complete guesses, but no, I'll go Charles. I'll keep flying the flag for a little bit. I'm quite enjoying this.
There you go. I think as I've always said on this channel, I don't care who wins it, so long as we get a good fight, which up until Singapore we did have this year. People talk about it's been a bad season, John T, but up until Singapore, when Hamilton just hit that other gear and Vettel began to struggle, we did have a really good season on our hands.
Oh yeah, it's been back and forth all year. Like I said, now you say it probably was Singapore. I think we saw the change in Hamilton's sort of attack on that qualifying lap, which was just something out of this world. That was truly Senna-esque.
Yeah.
With the way he can find the extra time in qualifying. And that was the big point where he decided he was going to be taking it as opposed to Ferrari losing it. So if we can have that, brilliant.
Just on a quick flick through Twitter now. I've taken those out of the comment section. Take a few questions off here, then a few out of chat, and then we'll end the stream there. Owen Goddard, and I think somebody else as well. Quick scroll through. If I can't find it, we'll have to leave it there. A couple of people have asked how to cope during the F1 off-season. That's an easy one, John T. Watch the F1 word.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got plenty of stuff coming up. New things we'll be trying, some of which are my ideas, so they all failed spectacularly, but it'll be fun.
It'll be the winter. It'll be all right. We can put that as an excuse. But I would say, obviously now with F1 TV, with all those classic races, there's always plenty to watch there. Definitely go back. We might even do another list this winter, John T, about some of the best classic races to go back and watch, because I think people will be interested in that, given that they now have the option with quite a big archive out there. So definitely watch some classic races. The review DVDs, they get me through. Movies like Senna, make sure you watch the full one, as John T always says. There's plenty F1-wise to get through. What do you do to get through the winter, Dan, other than make random YouTube content like me? Desperately scavenge around for something to talk about.
Well, this will be my first winter, almost, as a YouTube creator. Yeah, there's something, that's coming up December 15th. It's called Formula E. If you haven't seen that before, then that's going to be interesting, but obviously that's not much over the winter. No, I just hibernate. I just sleep until the season comes back around, testing. That's all I live for, really. Apart from that, it's just all a big waste of time. Christmas, not needed. F1, that's it. So I don't have many tips, to be honest. accept FE and the F1 Word and F1 Reviews content.
Yeah. I'll be honest. I'm not. I genuinely believe you do hibernate. Just imagine you going, right, I'm off to bed. See you later. See you in March.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I'm basically a hedgehog. You know, that's what it is.
Hedgehog. When you do your merch, that needs to go on there, mate. I'm basically a hedgehog. Harry wants to know current Silverstone layout or bridge layout. 100% for me, the bridge layout.
Oh, absolutely. There is some good stuff about the new layout, but cars going through Bridge Corner after coming under the bridge, just one of the best spectacles that was in F1. I mean, for me, I thought that was better than Magus Beckett's.
Yeah. Dan, or are you? Can't remember Bridge Corner, surely, even on DVDs and old videos.
I do. Okay, I'm not that young. Don't worry. I do. I do think that. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but is it Abbey, the first sort of section now in like the first few corners? Yeah. I think that's a better sort of starting point than Maggots and Beckett's, but especially nowadays where it's difficult for cars to overtake. But yeah, I think the old layout is probably a little bit better. Which, you know, coming from Millennial, big statement that is.
Yeah. It was Morgs, by the way, on Twitter asking about how to survive the off-season. Let's take a couple more off Twitter before I go into chat, because I want to finish at past 12:30. So we always tend to do longer streams for the specials because we just sit and talk. If anyone's wondering what we talk... Oh, yes, definitely. But if anyone's wondering what we do after streams, this is it. We're doing it live now. What's your favourite corner on any racetrack, says Giorgio Courier. Wow. Oh, that's a question. Of course, it's a question, but
Hollywood. No one knows what Hollywood is now, do they?
I don't. I have a clue what that is.
Hollywood's the second part of Redgate, the first right-hander at Donington, just where it dives down over the hill. And as you're coming downhill, sort of over the crest, losing bits of downforce, you've then got a couple of left-right sweeps. It's great to see, certainly the lower formula and the touring cars going down there, because they're just sliding all over the place.
See, I would say, shut up, chat. I would say Eau Rouge definitely has got to be up there. But other than F1 circuits, I'd have to go with the corkscrew. Is that a sequence of corners?
You see, the corkscrew's spectacular to look at, but it's not really that special for racing because they're all really slow.
Yes, Mighty Dash, the mountain at Cadwell Park. Good lad.
Just a quick shout out for Games Donovan. Of course, his favourite corner is Jonty's.
Hey. Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, impressive.
Let's have a look. A couple of people asking about winter plans. Don't worry, there's loads, as we've kind of touched on. I'll do that in a channel. I'm going to do a channel update video just after Abu Dhabi, which will give you a good idea of what's coming in the winter. But basically, if you're around last year, it's like last year, but even more. So, yeah, loads planned. Like Jonty said earlier, we're going to try some new stuff out, and if it all goes wrong, then it'll be hilarious and explode in our face, and we'll never do it again. But yeah, we've got plenty planned, so don't worry. So let's take a couple from chat then, on Twitter and whatnot. If chat wants to load for me over on good old YouTube, that'll be magnificent. It doesn't want to. It hates me today. So much hate, Jonty, I can't handle it. When it's ready, there we go. So, Lewis says, may I have the last giveaway? I think, I've done 4, haven't I? I did the key rings and then the 3 £10 vouchers. Yeah. So if I don't hear anything from those I'm still waiting to hear from by probably midday tomorrow, maybe a little bit later, I will open that up on Twitter and probably do one on the Sunday stream as well. So make sure you come along to that one, see? And a reason to come along, other than the fact that we're there and we're just going to talk rubbish for an hour. Decknoid. With the rise of Leclerc and Ferrari sparking a new, much-needed rivalry with Vettel, who has had it easy with Kimi lately? Considering how strong the Ferrari will be or could be, could this be Hamilton's last title?
It certainly could be.
I think that's a bit extreme. I think How many? So we got 19 and 20. I still, it's a difficult one. I still think even with 2021 regs, I think still Mercedes will be there. I think Hamilton's still got that superstar quality. It's me being a Hamilton fanboy now. I still think he is clearly one of the best of all time. And I think it's going to have to be a very special driver to deny him multiple seasons in a row. So I don't think this will be his last. I really don't. I think he'll at least have one more.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult. We don't know. Ferrari could turn up with the best car next year and blow everybody away, or Mercedes might find something, or Red Bull with the aero changes, although apparently not make the big difference everyone's expecting them to, again, might mix things up again, so you just don't know. I think he will win another one. Whether he'll get to 7, as I said to somebody on Twitter the other day, it's all down to how many seasons he wants to do. If he decides he is going to go at the end of 2020, which a lot of people think he will, he's got 2 seasons to do it, and that's a big ask. I know they've got the best car, or the best, not the best car, but the best overall package. And when I say best overall package, by the way, I mean in terms of pit crew, in terms of strategists, in terms of team play, let's put it that way, and in terms of, you could easily say, driver as well, in terms of pace. So they've got the best overall package at Mercedes. Yeah, it's a tough one, but I can't see him not winning another. No, I can't. Randomly just searching my brain there. Can I imagine it? No. Will Vettel win another championship, says Nick. I mean, he can. He can. I mean, I'm not going to say too much on Vettel because I've got a video planned for him in a couple of weeks' time, but he doesn't get the respect he deserves for what he's achieved in Formula 1. Whether he's had the fastest car or not, it doesn't matter. You know, I think people seem to be deluded if they think that Narain Kartikeyan won titles in an HRT. You have to have one of the fastest cars on the grid to do it. So, I don't. If he does, he's not going to do it at Ferrari.
Controversial there. Whoa, explain.
I tend to agree with what was it, Hamilton, who said it either today or yesterday, saying that Vettel's got to carry the whole of Ferrari in Italy on his shoulders, and that's a lot of pressure. And I think it is too much pressure, and I think they put it on him. He's put it on himself as well. Let's not forget that. He has put it on himself, but I just don't think it's the match made in heaven that they were hoping it was going to be. I think they saw a return of the Schumacher years, to be honest, Jonty. That's kind of what I thought they saw when they signed him, and it just hasn't worked, and it's not the match made in heaven they were expecting, and I just don't think he will. So maybe Hamilton goes to Ferrari and Vettel to Mercedes, or if Hamilton retires at the end of 2020, Vettel goes off to Mercedes, he could, but I just don't see him doing it at Ferrari.
Yeah, you see, I was going to say, barring other teams, next year is definitely his last chance at Ferrari, I would say. You can see cracks beginning to appear in their relationship because they've made mistakes that have cost him. He's made mistakes that have cost them. You know, as I said before, they put everything on Vettel, bringing home the driver's title for them. And twice they've given him the equipment to do it, and he hasn't.
Yeah.
Ferrari won't stand for that for too much longer.
What do you reckon, Dan?
I'm not his biggest fan. I'm really not, and I've not been that impressed with him this year. I mean, first half of the season, not too bad, but as of late, it really highlighted some of the flaws he has in his driving. And I think you're right. I think the pressure is a little bit too much, and I think that's something that Alonso, when he was at Ferrari, he dealt very well with. And I think maybe when they signed Vettel, they thought, looking at his success at Red Bull, he can deal with that pressure very well. But Ferrari's a completely different kettle of fish. And I agree with you, Sean. I don't think it's going to work out like the dream that they pictured, really. So I can see him win another title. I do agree with you there. I think he's definitely got the skill to do it. But I just don't see the dream of it happening at Ferrari.
Yeah, I hope I'm wrong. I want to see Ferrari win titles again because they are one of the big historical teams, but look, there's a reason they've taken Leclerc. There's a reason they've taken him. And, you know, people will say, oh, Marchione wanted him, so they're honouring him, which, you know, yeah, okay, that could be the fairy tale, the nice story. But they're not happy with Vettel. I don't think Vettel's happy with them entirely. And I think they're thinking, right, we need to bring somebody in. And if, as Jonty's touched on, if he doesn't step up next year, then we've got somebody that's had a season's experience that we can lean on for 2020.
Yeah, I think that's fair. So do you think it'll be a bit similar to when Ricciardo went to Red Bull?
Maybe. I mean, I'd be surprised if Ferrari let him have a clause in his contract that he managed to get in his Red Bull contract.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think they like to have that control over drivers. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jonty, but I feel like Ferrari want more. Red Bull, you know, that whole, if we're not performing this well, then this is your way out. I can't see Ferrari allowing that into a contract.
No, it'll be in there, but it'll be the other way around.
Yeah.
It would be Ferrari saying, if you don't perform, you will be out.
Yeah. Right, I'm going to take the questions from Super Chat, and then we are going to end the stream now. It's been 90 minutes, just like we like to do for the... I didn't tell Dan it was going to be 90 minutes. I told him it wouldn't be long.
No, it's fine. I've enjoyed it anyway, so I don't mind.
Do you need a wee?
No, I went in the 9 minutes, so it's all...
We all went for a yellow flag break. So Craig Dunbar says, keep up the good work, guys. Thank you very much. We will do our best, mate. And thank you for your contribution. Really appreciate that one. Andras as well. Thank you for your contribution. F2 lineup and front runner predictions for 2019. Leave that with me. It will be a video.
One prediction I can make on that is Mick will be in there, and it will probably be with Prema.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Mick Schumacher get an F2. I'd be surprised if he doesn't. Trying to think who else. It's quite weird next year because there's actually two moving up to Formula One, which doesn't happen, like two front runners in F2. It doesn't always happen. You usually end up, maybe one gets in and one ends up in a development role. So we're losing a couple of really good drivers.
Dan Ticktum, is he Formula 2 ready?
It's the logical. Yeah, yeah. That's the big thing. He can keep himself under control. Front runners, De Vries will probably still be there, as someone just mentioned in chat.
Albon, somebody just mentioned there as well, has gone, hasn't he? So that's 3.
Do you reckon Markelov will have a good chance then? Do you reckon Markelov will stay?
Well, he said he wasn't, didn't he? Markelov said that if he didn't get a drive elsewhere, he wouldn't do Formula 2 again. Look what you've done, Andras. This is terrifying. You've got us thinking. We don't do thinking. Definitely, I'll tell you what, if we see if we can come up with something for the live stream on Sunday, and if not, then we will. I'm definitely going to do a video. Obviously, a few people have asked me for my 2019 predictions, but I'm not doing them before we get out of testing, because I did them in January last year and made a complete tit of myself. You know I'm like with predictions. And Justice has also donated. Thank you very much, mate, for the contribution. Says, Red Bull said that the Honda they will be 0.6 seconds faster. Is that next season? I know Honda are quite confident about next year, I think. But then they were fairly confident with McLaren, weren't they, John T? And it didn't really work out.
Well, yeah, exactly. But again, we've got the whole, was it Honda, was it McLaren? I firmly believe it was McLaren's problem now.
Yeah. Well, that's it. There's a lot of people talking about all the power units that Honda have used this season, but a lot of that, you have to remember, has been for chucking on new bits for Red Bull next year.
Yeah, I mean, that goes back when... Might have been as far back as Germany or Hungary, where they said...
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just trying to think back. Yeah, I just don't think it's going to be the disaster that everyone thinks it's going to be next year. And I said that about Toro Rosso. I got something right. There you go. But yeah, I think they'll do all right next year, Red Bull. I don't think they're not going to finish any lower than 3rd in the championship, but I think they could take the fight. I don't know about the title, though.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, it's the best way to put it. But we're going to leave it there because we've been going for over 90 minutes. Of course we overrun, despite the fact we were supposed to be overrunning. We've still managed to overrun. But thank you very much, Dan, for coming along to this totally random, chilled out stream. It was a pleasure as always.
Thank you for having me, man. Thank you for not telling me how long it was. Might have had a fit before I came in, but I've really enjoyed it. And whoever has won the keyring, make sure you pick a Grosjean keyring, would be my recommendation.
I'd recommend you don't. But yeah, thank you very much, mate. And John T, thank you for coming along today. And thank you as well for all that you've done over the last, what will be 12 months now. It is 12 months. It can't be that long since the first stream.
3 weeks' time.
Yeah, so thank you as always, mate. I really do appreciate it, and I couldn't do it without your support.
Yeah, it's always good to be here, and it's great to see where we're going to go, or to not see where we're going to go, as the case may be.
Yeah, absolutely. And I should say as well, thank you very much to Dan as well for your support as well. I didn't mean to just be like, get lost, but yeah, thank you very much.
That's all right, man. Thanks. You've made this possible for me, so I've loved it. I've only been here, I think this is my 9th stream, so I've not been here very long, but I love it, man. So
no worries, mate. I will inevitably talk to you both in a bit, and thank you very much again.
See you later.
See you, folks.
Lovely. Thank you very much, as always, to Dan and to John. I've got to click the right thing now before I go to the end stream, or we're going to end up with another room tour. There we go. Managed to get it right. Thank you to those guys. And, of course, thank you to all of you for tuning in, but not just for tuning in today. Thank you for all of your likes, all of your subscriptions, all of your comments, all the interaction on social media. It's been a pleasure over the last, 16 months now? It's been absolutely fantastic. So, and thank you as well for all your support over the last couple of weeks as we've pushed towards 50k. It's been brilliant. Above and beyond anything I ever believe will be possible with the channel. So as I said to somebody on Twitter earlier, every single subscriber now is a very nice bonus. So thank you very much. If you were one of the winners on the giveaway, make sure you message me on Twitter, on Facebook, or on Discord. If I don't hear from you, probably by the end of tomorrow, I'll be nice. I'll get to the end of tomorrow, then I'll give it away on social media on Friday and possibly one during the stream on Sunday. You can follow me in terms of video, so I'll do that one first before I go signing out. Videos, a little bit quieter this week, just while I sort some stuff out. If you follow me on social media, you'll know what I'm talking about. We're not going to get into it. But there'll be a news roundup on Friday, and then there'll be a live stream on Sunday, and then it's back to the Brazilian Grand Prix race build-up next week. So 2 more races to go. 2 more races, then we're into winter content. I'll be honest, looking forward to the winter content. Hope you all are too. But you can follow me over on social media. Links to Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and to Discord are all in the description down below. But as ever, thank you for watching. I've been Sean. This has been the F1 Word. And until next time, goodbye.